Hi, this is Peter Jackson, the director of They Shall Not Grow Old.
Of course, if a thing hits you fair and square and you die immediately, you don't feel anything at all, nothing to it.
So in our documentary, we tried to use archival footage to tell the story, 100-year-old First World War footage, along with the audio of the veterans that were there.
I was trying to step over him, and the sergeant behind me said, "Go on, you mustn't take any notes of that, you keep going."
Our problem in showing a battle sequence like this is that there was really no battle footage shot in the First World War. Obviously, the cameraman wanted to stay alive, and so there is no footage, and there's actually really no photographs of that happening either. So we had to resort to doing various other techniques to show the battle. And one of them is to use, footage like these tanks, which are advancing, in theory, towards the German lines, except these are shot in a training exercise. A lot of the footage that you see of tanks is training, but this shot here that we're seeing is actually the Scottish infantry advancing in November 1916, and it's a genuine shot. We're also showing individual, little clips and cutaways of the artillery and the explosions to give the punctuation. A lot of the effect of being in a battle like this is the concussion of these shells, and so we thought that if we do these quick shots of explosions and guns firing, then it'll help us. And the sound effects, by the way, are real. The New Zealand artillery did some live firing for us, and we had our sound recorders recording the guns, the whizzing, the howling of the shells and the explosions, so you're hearing the real thing here. And the other thing is we're using sketches that were done for a weekly magazine, The War Illustrated, that came out every single week during the First World War. But they had the same problem as we had. They couldn't have a photographer in the battles, so they had sketch artists sketching them. And so we were able to resort to those sketches to give people a sense of what it was actually like to be there. Finally, we're using the faces of soldiers that we had used earlier in the film, actually group shots, people smiling, people laughing at the camera. It felt poignant that we're hearing the audio of this horrific battle, but we're seeing these men at a much happier, calmer time. So I thought that actually had a strange power to it.
And all that I could hear was the cries and screams of the survivors, sometimes in 2, sometimes in 3 parts, legs, arms, all strewn all over the place.
We are also using photography of our bodies that were filmed obviously after the battle, which are, they're pretty horrific, but I thought that was important to not sanitize it. The power I think it has is the audio of the veterans telling us what it was like to be in a battle. And now these are several battles that you're listening to, not just one. I took accounts from all over the place because at the end of the day, being under shell fire is being under shell fire, and it didn't really matter what year or what battle you were fighting. So I was able to edit together a compilation of different accounts from different soldiers at different battles and different years, and to create what I hope is a very accurate feeling of what it was like to be in combat in the First World War.
I knew there was no hope of getting any orders because there was nobody to give any.
The only hope I have for the impact of the film is to inspire younger people to ask the question, I wonder if we had anyone from our family in the First World War. No matter what country you're from, no matter what your background is, you would be very surprised that it's more likely than not that some member of your family, 2 or 3 generations ago was involved in this war, probably several. The film and the humanity of it involves all of us and how our own family was shaped by this war.